It's 2024, you're watching this video on YouTube, you probably work in retail, in which case you definitely have heard of AI, and it's probably high up on your list of strategies for the next few years. But what exactly do we mean when we talk about AI? What does it actually mean for our business, both as retailers and as consumers? To dig a bit deeper into that and how that all fits together and how you can deploy it in your own business, I am joined by Jack Fitzgerald today from Zühlke, the Business Development Director. Welcome to Jam TV.
Thank you very much. No, nice to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. So, why don't we just kick off with a little bit about who Zühlke are and exactly what you do and how AI fits into that?
Sure. So we're a global engineering consultancy. We're about 55 years old. So we've seen a lot of different transformations from electronics engineering to software engineering, now into data engineering and of course AI. And our experience really has been very much hands-on. So we are using AI right now internally. We're investing in tools that will help our teams, our software engineers, to deliver code better and faster, using things like Copilot. We're also helping our teams in discovery in the consultancy space to use generative AI to digest customer experience and customer research insights and get to that insight faster so we can deliver value to clients better. So we're using it ourselves and we're also helping clients to use it. So we've built a last count 30 different solutions using AI for clients across various different sectors, including retail, across that's not just generative AI, but traditional AI as well. So we've got a lot of experience in the space and a lot of opinions for how retailers can best leverage these transformative technologies.
I think, you hit an interesting point there and talking about the difference between, say, generative and traditional.
Yeah.
That we talk about AI all the time. It is the buzzword of the last 2 years, bar none.
Yeah.
And yet I think because of that, people have been expected to learn a hell of a lot very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. And if you don't keep up, people are often afraid to ask and don't necessarily know how to do the required reading. So when you talk about AI, what are we actually talking about?
So it's very easy to just get swept up in the hype curve. We've seen AI has been the most accelerated hype curve in history.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and so we're very much in the trough now where people have sort of tried and failed and made high-profile mistakes and all that sort of stuff. We see AI as just another tool. It's a very powerful tool. But it is just another way to solve problems. And so what we mean by AI is anything that a computer can understand to help to achieve and to deliver in a way that a human typically could do. And that, immediately people get very scared of, is it going to take my job? Is it going to replace me? Are we going to risk a load on this fairly new technology, and so should we go all in and not be left behind, which every consultancy and every AI software company will tell you have to get on board, or should we wait a bit, focus our efforts on building the foundations so that when these technologies are a bit more mature and a bit more safe, and others have made the high profile mistakes, then we're better positioned to leverage those technologies. So there are two schools of thought emerging. There's always a middle way of experiment a little bit whilst improving your kind of core technologies. But ultimately, AI is just another tool and it should be treated as such, rather than either get super excited or really scared about it.
Absolutely. I think people get very much swept away with the seemingly human aspect of it, particularly with regards to things like large language models and machine learning. Mm-hmm. It makes you believe immediately like it must know something. But in fact, we were just talking about this over lunch earlier, that actually all it's trying to do, it's a people-pleasing engine more than anything else. And once you understand that, you can work with it. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking it to provide novel answers to things, that's not going to give you any helpful intelligence.
Exactly, and that's where, unfortunately, artificial intelligence is an absolutely terrible name for what it is.
Yes.
It's not intelligent, it doesn't know things, and it has no wisdom whatsoever. So that's where we are always talking about the human in the machine. There has to be a human in the loop. There has to be somebody who can bring that context and that understanding, especially if you're putting it in front of other human beings. Because what certain high-profile examples have shown is if you put a robot unchecked in front of a customer, they will get it wrong. They will make up answers. They will people please. And that is where things start to go wrong very quickly. So for us, it's about finding the use case, again, treating it just as another tool, focus on the problem. what are the problems that your business has? And within your tool set, where can AI help solve that problem? Rather than we have to do something with AI and then try and point it at everything and hope that something sticks.
Yeah.
Because these tools aren't cheap. Then, and retailers in particular have seen margins fall over the last few years. They don't have budgets to spend to play with things. They have to be very, very clear and very, very focused. So that's what we're helping clients to do. Find where the problems are, and then AI as just another tool, a very powerful tool, as I said, but something that can help solve those problems faster, better than previous.
Well, on that note, then what are some of the solutions and success stories that you've seen with AI? And interesting, if we can follow up with that immediately, is some of the ones you don't have to mention any. In fact, no, please don't mention any names. But maybe some of the less successful, some of the mistakes that people are commonly making.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we've run a couple of roundtables this morning on exactly this topic, and some of the successes that we've seen are internal facing. So
really,
software engineering. Software engineering, perfect. Copilot for coding, helping to accelerate and generate productivity gains from your software engineering teams. We've seen a 20% productivity increase with our software engineers, and we are a software engineering business, so that's pretty impactful. But what we've also seen is those software engineers are happier as a result. So they do not see it as it's replacing me. They see it as an assistant. They see it as something that can actually help them do the job better. All the menial tasks can be outsourced to the AI to do, and so their job is more important than just getting rid of it. We can't get rid of people. We shouldn't get rid of people using AI. So, what they're doing is helping to improve their job satisfaction through AI. That's on the software engineering side. We've also seen things around discovery, so helping to kind of churn through customer research really fast. So we've gone from a 4-week discovery process to a 1-week process, which obviously means we can get to insight and get to value faster. That benefits our teams because they're not churning through research scripts for hours and hours and hours. So there's a staff satisfaction and ROI benefit to that. And then more generally, we work with a large Swiss retailer doing something similar to Just Walk Out, the Amazon kind of Just Walk Out thing, but it was more focused on using the tech. So Amazon, quite a high profile for kind of doing a bit of smoke and mirrors in the background.
I wasn't going to say anything, but
well, yeah, no, it happens, and that's what we need to be really careful for.
Yeah.
But we built a working store that used RFIDs, used facial recognition, integrated into a mobile app, and we built a store that worked.
Really?
And it was you scan to get in, your customer profile gets loaded in, you then pick stuff off the shelf, and then you scan to walk out. And everything is just charged and done in the background. There's no need for any sort of scanning, self-checkout stuff, which is a bit of a challenge at the moment. There's a lot of backlash against self-checkout. Unidentified item and bagging area kind of stuff. This gets rid of all of that.
Let's not get into that debate right now. That's for a whole different discussion.
Yeah, and it also means that stores can be smaller because you don't need big checkout systems and stuff. So we built that, and we built a working store, and that's not generative AI. It's standard AI, but the power of that is enabling retailers to play with different business models. So we're seeing lots of different use cases. The problem now is not coming up with ideas for use cases, it's which one to pick first. And that was the discussion this morning was really interesting on the barriers are typically more people related and culture related than the tech, than the process. It's all about how do you get people on board, because they're either too busy, they don't have the budget to play around with this kind of stuff, or they are scared of it and they don't want to get on board. And so for us, it's about finding the champions, finding the people that are really excited, the kind of people that say, I don't have no idea what this thing can do, but I want to play with it. And then helping them to find the right use cases that can have that value and can generate a return that will keep the CFO happy, as well as the staff and as well as the customer, of course.
So if we say this is kind of your platform right now for those on the sort of more fearful end, or maybe the bamboozled side, who see it everywhere, know that they should already know about it, but don't yet, or maybe think it's a lot of hype that isn't worth my time right now, and I'm going to give it. For those people, what if you could advocate to them right now? What would you say?
None of these technologies are ever as scary as they first appear. It just needs a bit of pragmatism. And having some cynicism and skepticism is valuable. You need those doubting Thomases always, But it is about finding the champions as well, to harness a bit of energy and some productive energy, rather than just, we want to go all in on everything and we'll find a solution. We'll use AI regardless to solve this problem. It's using the people that are on your side and want to experiment, but then finding those use cases and getting building. That's the thing. Get out of thinking, get into building and start building proofs of concept, work with partners, work with the hyperscalers, work with tech providers who have those very simple proof of concept solutions that can get you started quickly and cheaply, so that you can start to show value, because showing and telling is really important. If you find a little skunkworks team that can just hack together something that demonstrates the value against the problem that you need to solve, and start to show people and work in the open, bring people in, start to get people excited and get across all these functions. Don't just see it as a tech project, see it as it's a business, it's a CX, it's a fulfillment, it's actually impacting the business. Because otherwise all you're doing is you're experimenting in a lab, and that lab will get shut down, particularly as we continue to be in a difficult economic climate.
Absolutely. Well, I could carry on talking about all this all day. It's a proper pet subject of mine. But we are going to have to wrap this one up. So thank you so much, Jack, for taking the time to speak with us today. If people want to find out more about Zühlke and what they're doing in the AI space, where can they be looking? Absolutely. So we're here at amazing RetailJam. Obviously, look us up, Google us, Zühlke, Zuhlke, and come and see us at the next Retail Hive events over the next 6 months or so. Perfect. Thank you very much, and thank you guys as always for watching, and we will see you in the very next episode. Cheers.